Where is she, Bill? What happened to Eve?
She's at the desk picking up my tickets. She said we had so little time to be together that...
She's quite a girl. I'd forgotten they grew that way anymore.
Yes, that lack of pretense. That strange sort of understanding.
Isn't it silly? Suddenly I've developed a big protective feeling toward her. A lamb loose in our big stone jungle. Bill, take care of yourself out there.
I understand they have the Indians pretty well in hand.
Don't get stuck on some glamour puss.
I'll try.
You're a setup for some gorgeous, wide-eyed young babe.
Now, how childish are you going to get before you stop it?
I don't want to be childish. I'd settle for just a few years.
And cut that out right now.
Am I going to lose you, Bill? Am I?
As of this moment, you're 6 years old.
Everything's ready, Mr. Sampson.
Oh, thanks, Eve.
Your ticket. They'd like you to get it right on the plane.
You've been very helpful. Good luck.
Goodbye, Mr. Sampson.
Knit me a muffler, Margot?
Kiss me, Bill. Call me when you get in.
On the hour. Hey, Junior, keep your eye on her. She's a loose lamb in a jungle.
That same night we went for Eve's things, her few pitiful possessions, and she moved into the little guest room. Eve became my sister, lawyer, mother, friend, psychiatrist, and cop. Her quiet efficiency, her constant anticipation of my wishes drove Bertie mad. I loved it. Yes, the honeymoon was on. Early one morning, the telephone rang. I was half groggy with sleep. The operator made no sense to me at all.
We are ready with your call to Beverly Hills, California.
Where? What call?
We are ready with the call you placed for 12 midnight California time to Mr. William Sampson in Beverly Hills. Go ahead, please.
Margot, what a wonderful surprise. What a thoughtful, ever-loving thing to do.
Bill, have I gone crazy, Bill?
You're my girl, aren't you?
That I am.
Then you're crazy.
Oh. When are you coming back?
In a week. Well, I'm waiting. When are you going to say it?
Oh, now, Bill, you know how much I do, but over a phone. Now, really, that's kid stuff.
Kid stuff or not, it doesn't happen every day. If you won't say it, then you can sing it.
Sing it?
Sure, like the Western Union boys used to do.
Bill, it's your birthday.
And who remembered it? Who was there on the dot at 12 midnight?
Happy birthday, darling.
Well, the reading could have been better, but you said it. Hey, I get a party, don't I?
Of course, birthday and coming home. Who'll I ask?
Well, it's no secret. I know all about the party. Eve wrote me.
Eve? She did.
Sure, she hasn't missed a week since I left. But you know all about that. You probably tell her what to write. Tell me, how is Eve, okay?
Okay.
I love you.
I'll check with Eve. I love you, too. Good night, darling. I thought a lot about that phone call. In the morning when Bertie came in with my breakfast.
That's a silly question to ask me.
All I said was, you don't like Eve, do you?
You want an argument or an answer?
I'd like an answer.
No.
Why not?
Now, you want an argument.
Well, she's loyal and efficient.
Like an agent with only one client.
She thinks only of me, doesn't she?
I'll say.
How do you mean that?
Well, I'll tell you how. Like she's studying you. Like you was a book or a play or a set of blueprints. How you walk, talk, eat, think, sleep.
I'm sure that's very flattering, Bertie, and I'm also sure... Good morning, Eve.
I'm going downtown now, Miss Channing. Is there anything else you've thought of?
Well, there's that script to take back to the guild.
I got it.
And those checks for the income tax man.
Right in this envelope.
It seems I can't think of a thing you haven't thought of.
That's my job, Miss Channing.
Eve, by any chance, did you place a call from me to Bill Sampson for midnight California time?
Golly, I forgot to tell you.
Yes, dear. You forgot all about it.
Well, I was sure you'd want to, of course, being his birthday. And you've been so busy.
It was very thoughtful of you, Eve.
Mr. Sampson's birthday. I couldn't forget that. You'd never forgive me. As a matter of fact, I sent him a telegram myself.
Did you say something, Bertie?
Who said something?
Don't. Bill's welcome home birthday party. A night to go down in history. Even before it started, I could smell disaster in the air. When I went down the stairs, I was surprised to find that Bill had already arrived.
Well, looks like you're going to have a very fancy party.
No, I thought you were going to be late. How long have you been here?
Oh, just a few minutes. I ran into Eve. She seems so interested in Hollywood.
She's a girl of so many interests.
That's a pretty rare quality these days.
A girl of so many rare qualities.
So she seems.
So you've pointed out so often. So many qualities so often. And so young. So young and so fair.
I can't believe you're making this up. It sounds like something out of an old Clyde Fitch play.
Clyde Fitch, though you may not think so, was well before my time.
Well, I've always denied the legend that you were in Our American Cousin the night Lincoln was shot.
I don't think that's funny.
Of course it's funny. Whipping yourself into a jealous froth because I spent 10 minutes with a stage-struck kid.
Stage-struck kid. She's a young lady of qualities. And I'll have you know I am fed up with both the young lady and her qualities. Studying me as if I were a play or a blueprint. How I walk, talk, think, act, sleep. It so happens there are particular aspects of my life to which I would like to maintain sole and exclusive rights and privileges.
For instance, what?
For instance, you.
Darling, this is my cue to take you in my arms and reassure you. But I'm not going to. I'm too mad.
Guilty.
Mad. Darling, there are certain characteristics for which you are famous, on stage and off. I love you for some of them and in spite of others. They're part of your equipment for getting along in what is laughingly called our environment. You have to keep your teeth sharp. All right. But I will not have you sharpen them on me or on Eve.
What about her teeth? What about her fangs?
She hasn't cut them yet, and you know it. Eve Harrington has never indicated anything to me but her adoration for you and her happiness at our being in love. And to intimate anything else spells a paranoid insecurity that you should be ashamed of.
Cut, printed. What happens in the next reel? Do I get dragged off screaming to the snake pit?
Excuse me, Miss Channing.
Oh. Yes, Eve.
The hors d'oeuvres are here. Is there anything else I can do?
Yes, thank you. I'd like a martini. Very dry and very double.
Well, I've been looking for you, Margot. Karen and I have to run along. It's been a swell party.
Where's Karen Lloyd? Upstairs.
Yes, getting her coat, I think.
How's the new play coming along?
Footsteps on the ceiling? Oh, all right, I guess.
And the girl, is she still 20?
No, 20-ish. It's not important.
Don't you think it's about time it became important?
Margot, you haven't got any age.
Margot Channing is ageless, spoken like a press agent. Lloyd, I'm not 20-ish. I'm not 30-ish. 3 months ago, I was 40 years old. 40. That slipped out. I hadn't quite made up my mind to admit it.
You've had another fight with Bill, am I right?
Bill's 32. He looks 32. He looked at 5 years ago, and he'll look at 20 years from now. I hate men. Don't worry, Lloyd. I'll play your play. I'll wear rompers and come in rolling a hoop if you like. Now get out of here. Go find your wife.
So nice of you to come upstairs with me, Eve. I just wanted to be sure you'd find your coat, Mrs. Richards. Tell me, Eve, how are things going? You happy? There should be a new word for happiness. Being here with Miss Channing, she's been so wonderful, done so much for me.
No, you've done your share too, Eve.
Well, good night. Mrs. Richards.
Karen.
Isn't it awful? I'm about to ask you for another favor, after all you've done already.
Oh, that's nonsense.
It's just that Miss Channing's affairs are in such good shape now, and I heard that Miss Channing's understudy was going to have a baby, and they'd have to replace her, so
You want to be Margot's new understudy.
I don't let myself think about it even. But I do know the part so well, and every bit of the staging. But suppose I had to go on one night to an audience that came to see Margot Channing. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that. Margot just doesn't miss performances. If she can walk, crawl, or roll, she plays.
The show must go on.
No, dear. Margot must go on. But as a matter of fact, I don't see why you shouldn't be her understudy.
Do you think she'd approve?
I think she'd cheer.
But Mr. Richards and Mr. Sampson...
And stop worrying. They'll do as they're told.
I seem to be forever thanking you for something, don't I? Good night, Karen.
Good night, dear.